Does Section 8 cover utilities? If you are a property owner or investor working with Section 8 tenants, you might be wondering how utilities fit into the equation. Specifically, does Section 8 cover utilities? Let's break it down so you have a clear understanding. Section 8, officially known as the Housing Choice Voucher Program, does not directly pay utility bills like it does for rent. Instead, it provides a utility allowance to help tenants manage their utility costs. This allowance can be a helpful resource for tenants, but it varies based on several factors. So, what exactly is a utility allowance? It is a specific amount of money added to a tenant's voucher to assist with utility expenses such as electricity, gas, water, and sometimes even trash removal. The amount of this allowance is determined by the local public housing authority and depends on the size of the unit and the average utility costs in that area. Depending on these factors, allowances can range from just a few dollars to over $200 each month. Now, how utilities are billed at the property plays a significant role in how this allowance works. There are three main billing methods you should be aware of. First, if the units are individually metered, each tenant is responsible for their own utility bills. In this case, the Section 8 program provides that utility allowance to help cover those costs. Next, there is the checkmetered option. Here, the property has a master meter, but sub-meters are installed for each unit. The public housing authority pays the utility company, and tenants receive a utility allowance. However, they may incur extra charges if they exceed a certain consumption level. Lastly, we have the master metered setup. In this case, the entire property shares one utility meter, and the landlord pays the utility company directly. Here, the utility cost is typically included in the rent, meaning tenants do not receive a separate utility allowance. However, they might face a surcharge for using non-essential major appliances. For real estate investors and property managers, understanding these billing methods is essential. It affects how you calculate rent and what responsibilities you assign to tenants. If utilities are included in the rent, you will need to adjust the rent amount accordingly, as tenants will not receive a utility allowance. Conversely, if tenants pay their own utilities, the utility allowance can help offset those costs, but they must manage any overages themselves. From a property management perspective, clarity is key. It is important to communicate who is responsible for utility payments and how the utility allowance is applied. This transparency helps prevent disputes and ensures compliance with Section 8 regulations. In summary, Section 8 does not cover utility bills directly. Instead, it provides a utility allowance that varies based on how utilities are billed at the property. As a real estate investor, being aware of these billing methods will help you manage your properties effectively and maintain positive relationships with your Section 8 tenants.